Okay, again, I want to take the time to welcome everyone to tonight's webinar and conference call. I'm T.C. Chambers, and I will be your presenter for this evening. It is my job to make sure that all our guests get the information that they need so they can make an informed decision. Afterwards, of course, I'll then open it up for any questions that any of our guests may have, as well as comments from our associates and leaders that are online from around the country. Right now we have folks on from, as far north as Connecticut. You got New York, Maryland, D.C., North Carolina, as far west as California, and as far south as Florida. So again, I want to welcome everyone. One of our motivated associates might have asked you to come on if you're a guest because they are confident, 100% confident that the information that you're going to receive this evening will be of value and will be able to improve your life financially. And I'm here to assure you that they are absolutely correct. Here at MyEcon, we've helped tens of thousands of individuals and families all across this great country of ours improve their personal finances. The name itself, MyEcon, is short for My Economy, and that's because every single one of you on this line has an economy, and you're the CEO of that economy. And as a CEO, your economy's success or failure is your sole responsibility. Now, we consider ourselves the personal financial success company because that's what we do. We help people improve their personal finances. We have associates that have professions that range from stay-at-home mom and dads, educators, bankers, doctors, lawyers, firefighters, federal agents, sales professionals, molecular biologists, small business owners, big business owners, and everything in between. And there's a few things they share in common. One, they understand the importance, the need of having more cash flow, the need for good financial strategies, and the importance, the significance of financial literacy. So I'm going to take a few minutes now to tell you a little more about the company itself. MyEcon, we're headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia. We're a 12-year-old debt-free company, technology-driven. And here recently, we've helped our associates cash flow in excess over $400 million. So let's take home in their household in excess of $400 million. Now, that's a very important fact because it's not based on the company's revenue, the company's doing so wonderful and grand, but what's in it for you? And what's in it for you is more cash flow. Typically, we help our associates increase their take-home pay within their first 30 days in this business by an extra $200 to $800 monthly, and I'm going to explain to you exactly how that's done. Our mission is very simple but very profound, and that's to empower people to improve their personal finances and obtain personal financial success. Now, what's personal financial success? It's simply having enough cash flow to support one's lifestyle during their working years as well as during their retirement years. And what happens in between that, the working years and getting to the retirement years, is what we're going to talk about. Also, what's important is to have a target. Many times you hear people having conversations about retirement. They talk about once they hit 50, once they hit 62, they're going to retire. Or once year 2020 comes, they're going to be about ready to take it to the house and retire. Well, God willing, both of those thresholds will come, but neither one of those figures equate to retirement. What really equates to retirement and a target you should be shooting for is what does your investment portfolio need to have in it to be able to take care of you for the rest of your life? What type of cash flow needs to be coming off of your real estate portfolio in order for it to take you for the rest of your life? So for example purposes for this workshop, or this call, this webinar, we're going to use $600,000 as what needs to end up in your retirement account. And if that retirement account just yields you 8% interest, that will yield you $50,000 a year. So if you could live off $50,000 a year during your retirement years, then that $600,000 will work for you. Now, the formula I'm using is take whatever annual amount you need, in this case $50,000, and multiply it times 12. That's about what you would need. Now, let's continue on. No one would argue that America is the wealthiest country in the world, accounts for about 25% of all the world's wealth, home of 540 billionaires and over 10 million millionaires. However, the other side of the coin is 80% of Americans struggle financially. 69% have less than $1,000 in the bank, and only 4% reach retirement or financial independence. Why is that? Why is in the wealthiest country in the world on the face of the earth, so many people struggle financially? Simple. There are some obstacles and things they face, conditions they face, they're not trained to identify or address. We always talk about how education is very important. But education specific to finance and money is even more important when we're talking about capitalism and making money. Here are some of those obstacles. Limited income and inflation. Inflation is how we measure the cost of living. So bottom line, $100 today buys you less than $100 purchased for you in 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. That means today that $100 has less buying power. So your paycheck has less buying power today than it did in the past. Then you couple it with taxes. Most people have felt the pain that when they look at their paycheck, a third of their income is gone because of taxes. So your check can buy you less, but guess what? They're putting one hand behind your back because they're giving you a third less of it because of taxes. That causes the third scenario or obstacle, which means now your check is done, but you still have more month left. So what happens, people start using their credit cards for groceries, their credit cards for gasoline, their credit cards for their utilities. Next, you know, that's thousands of dollars that they're now spending annually on interest on debt. Those first three obstacles leave way for the fourth obstacle, which is there's not enough money left to fund those retirement accounts, those 401ks, those TSPs, those 403Bs. There's not enough money going in, so they never reach the $600,000. They reached the 62, they reached the 2020, but they never reached the $600,000 even after 30 to 40 years of working, so they continue to work. Now, how do you solve that? Two ways. One, more cash flow, and two, better financial strategies. So in order for people to obtain financial success, retirement, financial freedom, they need more cash flow to support their current lifestyle, and they need more cash flow to invest to build passive income for retirement or financial freedom. In other words, they need cash flow to be able to build and purchase and buy stocks, bonds, real estate, investment accounts, 401ks, 403Bs, TSBs. They need to be able to build residual-based businesses. In addition, here at MyEcon, we use a strategy called income shifting to empower our associates to generate cash flow in 5 different ways. Let's talk a second about income shifting. The income shifting is paramount because you remember, one of those obstacles was high taxes. So you can't have a third of your income be taken away from you in the form of taxes and you just ignore it, especially when there's laws in place that allow you to legally, morally, and ethically address it. So income shifting is shifting those valuable tax dollars back into your paycheck. 2 of the ways we do that are correct tax withholdings and building a home-based business. Now, those happen to be 2 of the 5 cash flow streams, but we're going to see what they are now. The 5 cash flow streams include correct tax withholdings, minimize taxes on business income, generate business income, debt elimination, and creating passive income. Let's look at these individually to see how we're able to help you put an extra $200 to $800 in your paycheck. Now, correct tax withholdings. We know that this is important. Why? Because the IRS tells us, as you see on the left side of this slide here, that 80% of all employees have too much money withheld from their paychecks for taxes. That's 100 million people. Now, the problem with this is that employees lose money. This causes them to lose a significant amount of dollars. Why? Because of something on the bottom and the middle there called ROI. That's return on investment. In other words, when they have that extra money withheld from their check and sent forth to the IRS, that money doesn't work for them. So they lose all the earning power of that money. Let me spell it out a little more clearly for you. Let's say a person gets a $3,600 tax refund. That means they had an extra $300 withheld from their paycheck each month for the entire year. So what that means is that's $300 that did not go into their 401k, their 403B, their TSP, which would have made them money. So they lost the earning potential of that $300 every single month, plus the interest on top of interest, a loss of money. That also means that $300 was not used to eliminate some debt, saving them on interest, which again is a loss of money. Worst case, they at least could use that money to enhance their lifestyle. But instead, it went to the IRS, and the IRS then used that money to invest it to make money for themselves or for the government. Now, some people still don't quite get it. So let me give you one more quick example, and then I'll move on. Your best friend comes to you and says, and we'll use this same $300 as an example, that I need you to give me $150 every pay period, $300 a month. And then next year, when you go to file your taxes, I'll give you the $3,600 back. So before you told your friend no, because that doesn't sound right to you, you asked them why. Your friend commenced to say that, look, I'm going to take your $300 and I'm going to invest in my business to buy some widgets and sell those widgets, and I'm going to make $900 every single month, a $600 profit every single month off of your $300. At the end of the year, I would have accumulated $7,200 of profit, and I also would have made your $3,600 back, which I'm going to return to you in January, but keep the $7,200. You're going to say, no way I'm going to give you my money and let you make profit and you not share the profit with me. And that's a reasonable response. However, if that's exactly what you're doing, when you overpay every pay period, the IRS gets your $300, they make the $7,200 profit, and then they give you the $3,600 back. You have to correct that. So even the IRS, as well as my econ, said it's much better for you to maximize your take-home pay, which you can then use that additional income to invest, debt elimination, or even enhance your lifestyle. Now, I'm going to take 1 second, and I'm going to show our guests just how that actually works, at least on page 1 of the W-4. Now, this is a document here that the IRS put out in 2005 talking specifically about tax refunds. Now, first thing it says, first some refund facts. Federal tax refunds to individuals totaled more than $215 billion. Hence, the advertisement from H&R Block. America, get your billions back. See, the word back means that something has to get returned back to you. So you gave it, now they're going to give it back. Now, the IRS continues to say that more than 101 million taxpayers got refunds. That's 80%. So when someone says, well, how do you know that over 100 million people overpaid their taxes? Because the IRS gives out over 100 million tax refunds every single year. And back then it averaged about $2,100. Now it's in excess of $2,800. Now, where does the refund come from? It comes from your wallet or purse when you tell your employer how much to withhold from your paycheck or you make a estimated tax payment. Now, let's go on real quickly to the W-4. And this is really for the purposes of our guests because our associates understand this. Now, if you see in the top left corner, the IRS is giving you instruction, guidance on how to use this form. So it says the purpose, complete Form W-4 so that your employer can withhold the correct federal income tax from your pay. Now, the second sentence is the most important sentence on this purpose, and that is consider completing a new W-4 each year when your personal or financial situation changes. Now, if you've never read that when you first filled this form out when you were 18, that means you wouldn't know to come back and readdress it when you had a child, when you got married, when you had a second child, when you purchased a home. So you wouldn't understand how it impacts you through your entire working career, either positively or negatively. We're going to go through line H, A through H, real quick, because that's what page 1 totally entails, line A through H. So enter 1 for yourself if no one else can claim you as a dependent. Boom, 1. Why would anyone have 0 when the IRS's instruction says if you work and your parents no longer claim you or no one else claims you, 1. Everybody pretty much starts with 1. B, enter 1 if you're single and have 1 job, 18, just getting out of high school, just getting out of college, getting your first job. There's another 1 for you. Or you're married, your spouse doesn't work. There's another 1 for you. Or you have a second job and your spouse has 1, they make less than $1,500. But bottom line, most people are going to start off with 2. Why would they ever have 0? Now, C, let me regress 1 second. Look here, personal allowance worksheet. It's not a dependence worksheet. personal allowance worksheet. So C, enter one for your spouse. So if you're married, you have one. If not, 0. D, enter number of dependents. This is when it asks you how many dependents you have, this line right here. E, enter 1 if you will file head of household. Now, you're not head of household if you're the breadwinner. Like you and your spouse both make money, but you make more than your spouse, so you're the head of household. Nope. How do you know? Because the directions say you can claim head of household filing status on your tax return only if you are unmarried. So married, doesn't matter who makes the most money, you're not head of household. Okay, F, enter 1 if you have at least $2,000 of child or dependent care expenses. So if you're a parent, have 1 or 2 children, chances are you're going to spend at least $2,000. There's another one for you. Lastly, child tax credit. This talks about how much money you make. If you make less than $70,000 or $100,000 if you're married, enter 2 for each eligible child. If you're over that, then it's 1. Also, it says if you have 2 or more children, you'll subtract 1 from that. So bottom line, all these get added up to determine what your allowances are on page 1. Page 2 is a different animal. Once you're on board with us, we'll show you how to fill out page 2 to put even additional more money back into your paycheck. So I just want to take a few minutes to show you the W-4 and show you how that works and how simple it is and how understanding that form is the difference between having too much money withheld or the correct amount withheld and giving yourself a pay raise. And then, of course, page 2 takes it to another level, and that's where we come in and we help you with that process. Now, let's talk about our second cash flow stream, and that's building a home-based business. And really it's actually minimizing taxes on a home-based business. Because a home-based business is important not just because of the extra income, but because of this second bullet. Because business owners have access to more deductions than employees. And what's important about that is many of the expenses that employees routinely spend money on could become tax deductible if they were business owners, at least on a part-time basis. So now let's get into some of these expenses. So minimizing taxes on business income. What are some of the expenses that if you're a guest and you're not in business that you already spend money on? You already have a vehicle. You probably purchased it for personal use. But now when you drive to visit someone, if you talk business while you're visiting that someone, those miles can become tax deductible. If you drive to go meet someone for happy hour, if you drive in the morning, you're on your way to work, and then you stop and you talk to someone about business, now those commuter miles now become business miles. So the IRS says, hey, if you use your vehicle while you're attempting to build your business, then expenses you incur can now become partially tax deductible. Those expenses could be mileage as high as 54 cents a mile, or it could be actual expenses, lease payments, interest off of the car loan, gas, oil, maintenance, tolls. So all these things are possible. You just have to position yourself and then have someone like us to explain to you how to do it, how to document it, and the mentality to take advantage of these tax deductions. Well, if you're on your cell phone or if you're at home using internet, that means you have communication expenses that you already incur. If you're in business, like our associates that are on this line or like the ones that invited you on this call, they're making theirs partially tax deductible because the law says you can. How about travel? You might have went to a family reunion this year. You might have visited some friends out of state. You might have done some traveling over the summer because that's the best time of year for you to travel. Well, as a business owner, like many of the associates on the line and myself, when we travel and do these things, we attempt to do business while we're in those locations, and now those same expenses we're going to incur anyway now become tax deductible because the law says you can as long as you position yourself properly and document. Now, meals and entertainment. You go out and eat. You go to happy hours. Talk business, become partially tax deductible. Many of you have barbecues, Super Bowl parties, going to have football parties. Well, guess what? If you're a business owner, you have business luncheons and you do those things. You have dinner receptions and you do those things. That makes the money you spent on refreshments that you serve your guests partially tax deductible. All you got to do is talk a bit about your business. And what's so hard about that? You talk about stats about the football players. You talk about contracts that they have. Mention your business. Now those same expenses become partially tax deductible. I'm going to show you where the IRS says if you go to a football game, you go to a basketball game, if you're out for dinner at a club and you incur some expenses, that as a business owner, you can position yourself to make those things tax deductible. The last one, wages. Now, there's over 475 of these such deductions, but we're just showing you 5 that can help put an extra $200 to $800 back into your paycheck. Wages. So if you're a guest and you're a parent on this line, you've probably given your children allowances. You've surely purchased some food or got them some ice cream, gave them piano lessons, tennis lessons, sent them to the movies, maybe even paid for them to go on a prom, rented cars for them, birthday gifts, Christmas gifts. None of those things are tax deductible. Had you just paid them wages first, now all those things you just spent money on became tax deductible because those wages are tax deductible. Now, the W-4 that I was telling you about earlier, the page 2 that we're going to show you how to utilize, that makes those things cause your income, your take-home pay to go up even more because these things get accounted for on page 2 of the W-4. Let's continue on. The third cash flow stream is business income. MyEcon is a for-profit business. We help people get started in business to make positive cash flow to be able to put into a sound fundamental strategy of increasing cash flow, minimizing, eliminating debt, and building income-producing assets. So make no mistake, this is not some business just to allow you to save on taxes. It's to allow you to build a 4-figure, a 5-figure, a 6-figure income in business because we have a world-class business system set up to allow you to do that. Now, MyEcon, just like Netflix, we're in the membership business. Just like 24-Hour Fitness, we're in the membership business. You see, Netflix members, they have access to a myriad of entertainment venues. 24-Hour Fitness, their members have access to gym equipment. They have access to swimming pools, basketball courts. Well, our associates have access to a financial membership that will give them the tools and the products they need to increase their financial literacy, to utilize a strategy that will put positive cash flow back into their paycheck. That's our income shifting strategy. It has the cash flow manager software. That's significant because the IRS only has 2 requirements. One, build your business with a profit intent. And I already told you we're a for-profit business. That's why we help people start businesses. The second requirement is that you keep good records. So the cash flow manager software allows you from the convenience of the palm of your hand via your smartphone or your tablet or your computer to keep very good records, to be efficient. Your expenses, your income, everything associated with your business, it allows you to keep track of it in this particular software. It also allows you to put together a detailed debt elimination strategy, which will be another cash flow stream that once you eliminate that debt, that's more positive cash flow that you have. ID theft protection comes within this membership. Why? Because cybercrime is a billion-dollar industry. You have to protect yourself. Free and discount legal services. People want wills. People want trust. People have other legal issues that need to get information on. They need to get advice on. So we have some service that included in that membership that will help you out. Credit education services. See, credit to the overall financial picture, I equate it to a sore throat, to a cold. If you don't get rid of the virus, you're going to have your sore throat come back. If you don't take care of the cash flow and the financial strategy issue, you're going to have credit issues come back. But you have to address the credit issue. So the credit issues is a symptom to overall problem, which is cash flow. So we have a service or an educational system in place that consists of 26 videos, 2.5 hours of step-by-step how to build stellar credit. You understand exactly how to do it yourself, and it's included in the membership. So you're not taxed $80, $90 every single month. Now there's a time crunch for you. And, of course, we've thrown in some discount travel and corporate perks. Now, that's our flagship product. That's our primary way of entering into the marketplace, and that's our primary source of our income. They get a full e-commerce website that comes along with that. Now, we have some ancillary products and services that represent additional income streams. See, that's no different from 24-Hour Fitness, that when the folks come out of the gym, they can go into the store and buy a 24-Hour Fitness T-shirt. That's an additional income stream. They can buy one of those little things you put your cup in to keep your hand nice and dry, those little cup holders that have 24-Hour Fitness on it. That represents an additional income stream. They can take a Pilates class for a fee. That's an additional income stream. Well, in MyEcon, we're no different. We're positioning our associates to be able to take advantage of multiple industries and multiple trends that are currently going on and that will be going on in the future. So what we've done is that we've put all of our products on every single one of our associates' websites. It's like a vending machine in the sky. So now what they're able to do is send their clients or potential customers to their website that aren't interested in our personal financial success membership, that are only interested in some products and services that will enhance their life. ID theft protection. They know it's a billion-dollar industry. They know cybercrime is huge. So for $7.95, we have $1 million service policy that protects them in case their ID is compromised. We have a smart money system program that gives them a debt elimination strategy, that gives them a do-it-yourself credit restoration or credit education system. 26 videos, 2.5 hours of do-it-yourself videos, cash flow manager software. So we have independent contractors, whether they're insurance agents, real estate agents, small business owners, big business owners. They need to be able to efficiently and effectively track their expenses and their income in order to operate their businesses correctly as a CEO. Travel. We have contracts with all the major carriers throughout the United States. So someone can click on that travel icon on your website. It'll send them to Priceline.com. Now, when they purchase any of the Priceline products, whether it's an airline ticket, book a hotel, rent a car, book a cruise or a vacation, they're going to get Priceline's wonderful service, great prices, and you're going to get commission. Health and nutrition, whether they want coffee, they want skinny tea, whether they want supplements, spray vitamins, all those things they can purchase from your website. Cashback Mall. They can go to your website and buy a grill from Home Depot. Get cash back, you earn commission. They can go to your mall and they can go to Walmart and do their monthly Walmart shopping, get cash back because they went through your site, and you get commission. So in other words, you now have a vending machine in the sky. And instead of Snickers, popcorn, potato chips, pretzels, M&Ms, you have ID Defender, Smart Money System, Cash Flow Manager, Book Travel, Nutrition, Healthy Beverages, Cashback Mall. It's a setup for multiple income streams within this business income strategy. Now, let's talk a little bit about compensation. To the left, upper left corner, you see Executive Vice President. That's our first leadership position. So our associates that invite you on this call, they're going to help you understand our program, help you share the information with some folks using webinars, live webinars, recorded webinars, home presentations, three-way calls, and we're going to help you get a few people that are interested in our membership. Once they've accomplished that, you've got promoted to our first leadership position of Executive Vice President. Now, if you look to the right on the top, it says now you're up to be able to receive 100% of all the commissionable sales of any sales that go through your website, your personal website. Now, because we train and teach and build entrepreneurs and we help them build marketing teams, you can earn up to 85% on your team sales. Now, because we help every individual access 5 cash flow streams, you never, ever have to build this organization. You can come in business, shift those tax dollars back into your paycheck, use that money to eliminate debt, give you more cash flow, and then use that cash flow to start building your assets that are going to get you to that $600,000. But if you understand the importance of leveraging, gaining the benefit of other people's time, knowledge, education, leadership, energy, the same way that all these Fortune 500 companies do when they hire these people with their master's degrees, their doctor's degrees, their bachelor degrees. Well, now the company says, hey, if after you see how you're able to put an extra $200 to $800 in your paycheck by using strategy, you're not going to hide that blessing. You're going to share that information. And if based on you sharing that information, someone wants to do that for themselves and that family, the company's going to pay you a $35 referral fee every time you do that. Unlimited $35 referral fees up front. Now, if those folks that you've referred in your base shop refer some folks, we're going to pay you $25 on that. So $35 on what you do, $25 on what your team does. That's if you choose to build a team. Now, simultaneously while you're doing that, you're building residual income, which is on the bottom right. How about earning up to $5 to $10 residual income monthly on your entire team? How about building a team of 1,000 people nationwide over time, earning about $8 a month per? That's $8,000 a month residual income. Suppose it took you 5 years to do that. Time is on your side. Think about it. There are people that have worked 20, 30, 40 years and don't have anywhere near that type of residual income coming in. Why? One, because they have the pay system, which we call as linear. They have to work for every dime they make. So that affected how much cash flow they can make and how fast. Additionally, they had those 4 obstacles working against them, so they didn't have the financial knowledge to give them a strategy to change that. We changed the whole playing field. There's 100 million people out there that need the information that you just got, and you can be in position with us to help them. Let's talk about the 4th cash flow stream. Now, you've increased your take-home pay by adjusting your W-4. You got some additional tax savings on business income, and you made some additional business income. So let's take 1,000 of that and apply it to aggressively and rapidly eliminate debt. So here you see 3 creditors. The first one is a car loan. They have a $17,000 balance, and their car note payment is $545. So we take that $1,000 and add it to that $545 and send $1,545 to the bank. In 12 months, that car note is paid off. So they paid off in 12 months what normally would have took 32. They saved 20 months of car payment and interest. Now they have $1,545 in cash flow. We're now going to aggressively attack that second debt, that second creditor, which is Visa. You have an $8,000 balance. You're sending $200 a month. Not anymore. You're going to start sending $1,745 a month. In 5 months, that credit card is now paid off. So now you've freed up to $1,745. Let's take care on that third and final creditor, which is your mortgage. $200,000 balance, $1,200 a month mortgage. You're now going to be sending $2,945 to the bank. And in 68 months instead of 360, the mortgage is paid off. You'd have freed up $2,945 of cash flow, eliminating $225,000 of debt in 85 months. As importantly, in that same time frame, you saved over $352,000 in payments and interest. Incredible amount of money you saved. Now, with that $2,945, now we're ready to start building that 5th cash flow stream, and that's passive income. This is my favorite one. This one, you turn that cash, that $2,945 into assets that bring you more cash. So in this scenario, you're turning that $2,945 into an investment. You're investing at 8% interest annually. And in 10 years, that $2,945 a month or $35,000 some change a year grew to $538,000. In 15 years, it grew to over $1 million. Now, you realize you are debt-free, and now you have an asset value, a cash value of over $1 million. You're a cash millionaire. And that came because of a strategy, not brute force, strategy. See, strategy over sales. Strategy trumps sales. So you have to have cash flow, and you have to have a sound and efficient strategy to do it. Now, you might not have the temperament or the patience for the stock market. You might decide to take that $35,000 each year and put on a down payment of rental property. And in 10 years, you have 10 rental properties. And let's say you have $500 of positive cash flow off each of those properties. You now have $5,000 of residual income coming off of that portfolio. $5,000 a month times 12, that's $60,000. You're already beyond the $5,000 a month or the $50,000 a year that you needed to be financially free. That still doesn't include any other investments that you had. That still doesn't include any Social Security you may receive or any other pensions that you may receive. That's from this particular cash flow strategy scenario. So we helped you do 5 cash flow streams. Now, everyone knows passive income is significant, and it's stocks, bonds, real estate, and businesses. Everyone desires it, needs more passive income. So we empower our associates to build that passive income. Personal financial success is the ultimate goal, and those 5 cash flow streams and the strategy is how you get there. Now, you can get our entire system, our personalized website, our world-class business system, our financial success membership, which I already told you included the income shifting strategy, the cash flow manager software, ID theft protection, free legal discount services, credit education, discount travel and corporate perks. My favorite, which are the valuable tax benefits that come along with being a home-based business owner, and we teach you how to do that. All for just $34.95 a month. $1.17 a day to operate your business. Most people spend more than that a day on coffee. So for less than a cup of coffee, you can operate a business that first and foremost will put $200 to $800 monthly back into your paycheck. strategy. That strategy will then help you eliminate your debt, put more cash flow back into your household. It'll help you build business income, more cash flow back into your household. It'll help you minimize the taxes on that business income, more cash flow back into your household. It'll then give you the cash flow you need to build your investment portfolio, whether that be stocks, bonds, annuities, 401ks, 403bs, whether those investments will be into real estate. But it allows you to have the cash flow to employ the cash, asset, cash strategy. Most importantly is we support you the entire way. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. You have individuals that are in our company that are leaders like the ones that invited you on this call, like Smiley out in the West Coast, like Pam Sam out in Houston, like Cap, Spencer Kapler, managing the whole Northeast with one of the largest downlines in the entire company. So you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. We'll do one-on-one calls for you, three-way calls for you, live webinars, recorded webinars, home presentations, luncheons, dinner receptions, hotel meetings. See, we have a variety of ways to get the information out, and there's 100 million people all over this country that need it. So I hope you see clearly how spending $34.95 a month will put $200 to $800 in your household first and foremost, and then our process, our system is going to help you go on and become financially independent. So I want to be the first to thank you for taking time out of your evening to listen to our overview and this information. And after we get all your questions answered and you make the decision to join us in business, allow me to be the first to welcome you to our team. So I'm now going to end the recording, and then I'm going to answer any questions. I'm opening the line.